ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling, another special watch along. And boy, do we have a match to talk about in today's forum. My name is Mike Larkin, and joining me as always is the protector, the wrecker, the one, the only himself, Mr. Robert Davis. How are you, Roberto?
We're doing good, sunshine.
Yeah.
For emphasis.
Well, to you, sunshine. And speaking of sunshine, as it is the sunshine where Robert is over there with the sun, just coming on in over there in Cali. Oh, my goodness gracious. Another one who really does bring sunshine when she's not bringing that darkness is the demoness. Come to caress, take your soul, put you in a hole, getting our TikTok appeal. Don't be slipping on a banana peel. The one, the only, Miss Nicola MacDonald. How are you, Nicola?
Hello. I'm pretty good. I'm going to say this now at the beginning of the show instead of like later on for it. So we talked about this before. A lot of you will know from the Blackheart family and Max Wrestling family, my son, Rafe, but we call him Demon R. He leaves school next week, and he's been a big part of Max, the Blackhearts, the Demonesses promos with these two into, and whatever else. He leaves school next week, and he starts college soon. And the other day, bear in mind he's 16, he called me a bitch. So without thinking, I had to turn around and shouted at him, "Suck my dick and yeet."
What? We got to add some flavor to the SMDs up in this bitch. We got to add some heat to it. What?
And the best part was he didn't get it because obviously I just did the whole yeet, and I had to show him who Jason was. I'm going to point out my son has got the biggest personality going, but yeah, wow, he leaves school next week and he's going to college in September. Wow, do we all feel old? But yeah, I just wanted to let the world know that Demon R, as he's known, is now, wow, terrifying. But it just made me laugh, the fact that he called me a bitch and I just went, "Oh, suck my dick." Yeet.
Well, congratulations to Demon Hour. And here's the thing. The world is his. Congratulations. We'll give him a clap for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
They grow up so fast, man. Just cherish every moment. I think that's wonderful.
I mean, he was 5 maybe when I first started doing this, I'm assuming, and he's now 16. So, and he was in a lot of the Demonesses promos to start with until he got older and then decided football and gaming was his thing. But wow, yeah, it's terrifying for me because next week I've got to watch him leave school, and then
that's
crazy.
That's wild.
It makes me feel very old because he's obviously my youngest baby, so it's like, well, he ain't a baby anymore, is he? The fucking child's a giant.
Yeah.
But wow, yeah, I just want to throw that out there.
The little demon voice in our promos.
Mm-hmm.
I know, right?
It's not a little demon anymore.
It's not a little demon.
No, he's not. And the weirdest part is, even now when he talks, I have to sit there because obviously I don't hear I'm lucky because obviously the promos are on YouTube and so I do still get to hear that little voice, but at the same time it makes me laugh now because obviously he's a man, so it's just like, we're gonna kill you, and now it's like, I'm gonna kill you, and I'm like,
suck my dick.
Yeet.
Yeet. Yeah, so I just want to give him a shout out and just a load of love for that little man. Well, he ain't little, but load of love to Mini Demon R, as he's known. But wow.
Congratulations, you big fucker.
Congratulations, big fucker. There you go, you big fucker.
You big fucker. And I said a bang on the wall, which means he's still awake. So he just dared me and he just went, I know, he just hit the wall. Wait. Yeah.
Now, I got to tell you right now, I'm not going to be able to look at Jey Uso the same now every time he comes up. All I think is, suck my dick.
No.
J1-ish. Suck my dick. J1-ish. Yeet. Yeet.
I have no idea why I added yeet to it. I think it was just the fact that he just lost us, and I just went yeet, and then obviously I had to explain to Rafe what
yeet
I was doing. So he watched the Jey Uso match with me and sat there going, "He's fucking sick, Mum." I was like, "Yes, he is. There he is." So sorry,
Fantastic.
Joe. So I will make sure I will not add that today.
Oh, you're fine. But I mean, I look at it like this. At least he also got to know who he called Logan Paul a prick. So that's a plus.
Oh, he called, right. So he's always called Logan Paul a prick, but it was more so when I was watching it and he come in and sat beside me and he was just like, "What is this prick doing on the TV? Why is he in wrestling?" And I was like, "Don't get us started." Because he listens to our show while we're recording, so he kind of asked questions the day after. He was like, "I hate Logan Paul. He's such a dirty ass. I wear it." Race words, by the way. He's 17 nearly, so you know.
I mean, no
And he's
lies
very much.
detected.
I mean, no lies detected. Yeah, like Rob mentioned. But speaking of no
I
lies,
mean,
yeah.
he's just like me. He's got my sense of humour. He's witty. He's outrageous. He's crazy, and yeah, love that child. Well, boy, I can't. Yes, I can't even get past that.
Yeet.
Yeet.
You.
I'm not
Anyway,
gonna.
sorry. Carry on.
Oh, you're fine. I'm not gonna lie. There's some tears on the side of my eye just laughing
I
at this.
know.
I can't unsee it now. I just can't
It was
unsee.
me. It was me that said it though. That's what's more funny. The fact that I just looked at him because he's used to hearing me say it now, and he just goes, "You shouldn't say that." And I'm like, "Dude, you say a lot of shit. I'm gonna say something, whatever."
Well, what we are going to say is we talked about feeling old and the nostalgia factor.
Mm.
There is some nostalgia factor in this, as we just watched a 27-year-old Samoan Joseph, as Rob calls him, Samoa Joe, against a 38-year-old Kenta Kobashi from 2005, the match that changed everything. And we'll do it early because it was one of Dave Meltzer's um, um, 5-star.
Leave your damn office, you piece of shit.
Leave your fucking office, Dave. Yeah.
Let me in there so I can burn it down.
Might have to at this point.
Yeah.
we aren't known for playing with fire.
This is true. Oh, my goodness. But yes, Dave Meltzer, it's one of his critically acclaimed 5-star classics from back in the day because he has been such a Kenta Kobashi fan from his matches with Masawa from All Japan Pro Wrestling and Owen Ward in Pro Wrestling Noah. And this was actually Kenta Kobashi's debut match in the States was against Joe because he'd never been to the States. Actually, we'll do this one because we like him. Samoa Joe years ago was on the Stone Cold podcast, son. What? Hey, man, let's talk about that match with Kobashi, son. Y'all really tore that shit down. What? And so he was on there with Stone Cold talking about how Kobashi said he didn't know how fans would take to him because he's never been to the States. He thought he was going to get booed out of the building. You know, the evil 400 top vibes. He thought he was going to get like the Mr. Fuji heat, as Samoa Joe put it. And he told him, he's like, no, dude, these people love you. You're going to get cheered. They are going to cheer you out of the building. And they did. If the reaction that we saw was any indication, my God, the American fans wanted to see them some Kenta Kobashi.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
And I think it's just that small niche audience that would probably go who.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I guess that's that small niche audience that actually knows who he is. So
yeah, we always talk about the niche, and Robert actually brought up a great point. Now, if Kenta Kobashi was still wrestling, and we'll go into Kenta Kobashi in this form too, this match would still hold up even in 2025. I think it would be fantastic, especially how much Joe has evolved within his career. But yeah, but Tony Khan would be drooling because it's a dream match. Kobashi-san!
Yeah, so, I mean, Kobashi's 58, Joe's 46. You know, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Joe's 46. I didn't realize how old he was. I didn't even know how old Joe was. Jeez, wow, he's 6 years old than us.
Yeah. They if they were to go do this now in 2025, I believe that match will still maybe not 5 stars, 4.5.
4.5?
No, I'd say 5. The amount of
4.8.
Well,
the amount of flats, I'd do 5.
Oh God.
100%. All the flats.
We'll get into that, but my God, from a man who's fought the likes of Masawa, Kawada, and just everybody in between, man is a legend. I mean, this is a man who had a cancer diagnosis later on in his life where they found a tumor when he had a tumor on his kidney. He got through that. He got through double arm surgery. Kenta Kobashi was a real legit badass of his time. And I mean, for me as a 13-year-old, because I had started watching Ring of Honor actually this year, like the month prior, Papa Lark and I, shout out to Papa Lark, we actually went to our first Ring of Honor show where Bryan Danielson beat James Gibson for that Ring of Honor World Championship. Homicide took on a young Jay Lethal in a one-on-one match. We saw Jay Lethal against Low Key. Like, Homicide and Colt Cabana, Jay Lethal, and Loki. And we saw young Jay Lethal in this too as well at the end. Samoa Joe's little protege, Jay Lethal, helping him up. How crazy was it to even say young Jay Lethal, who's also now in AEW? My God, right? Early Jay Lethal.
It's wild to see these guys so young.
It is. I mean, you could say some of my all-time favorite, like Hernandez. Wow, I've always been a fan of it, and obviously Loki, I was a fan of for a long time as well. But that's a different story.
I mean, you're a fan of Loki, Nicola, is what you're saying. You like the deep voice of Loki. That's what you're saying.
No, it was more. I think when he did the Hitman gimmick in that that wowed me because he disappeared for a long time and he came back and I just was like, I don't know. He just had the right fit for it. It just made sense. But obviously, God knows what he's doing now because I don't.
Is he still wrestling?
He is. I know he did some MLW stuff, but I mean, like with him, the problem is his attitude and everything he's gone through and whatnot. That's his issue. It's just his team. But he's still one of the greats. I mean, if you look around this time, he was in the Rottweilers. It was him, Ricky Reyes, and Julius Smokes back in the days of Ring of Honor. He would go back to
didn't he get hit on the arm with like a metal bat or something, or a metal bar at some point? I remember watching that going, what?
Talk about the Beatdown Clan and Samoa Joe and MVP and everybody. Yeah.
I remember. See, that's what I mean. When I know certain a lot, but yeah, Loki was always up on the greats. But like you said, it's attitude problem. Fair enough.
Yeah, Loki, Senshi, him, Triple X, Elix Skipper, Primetime Elix Skipper, and Christopher Daniels.
And Hernandez, I was another fan of, always. Every time he come out, I was like, fuck yeah.
To live
and die. This is like watching dive across the ring. And they fight everybody.
He had one of the greatest finishers ever, the border toss and the cracker jack, for God's sake.
That's it.
Yep. I know you're laughing as soon as I said border toss. I see you, Robert Davis. So and I don't even mean to laugh at that. What's going on in the world now? Don't say border toss. Anyway, I digress. So we go back to Kobashi and Samoa Joe. Kenta Kobashi's first ever appearance in the States. Didn't know how he was going to get reaction to. He got reaction well. Same with Samoa Joe coming out to his old theme song of Mama Said Knock You Out by LL Cool J. I'm going to knock you out. Mama said knock you out. I'm going to knock you out. Mama said.
The crowd still managed to chant Joe.
Joe.
I love LJ Cool J. We still like him. He's a fucking legend.
Absolutely.
Always.
Now I got to ask Nico. We got to get a perspective, Rob, because you and I have seen highlights or we've watched this match many of times. Nico, this is your first time experiencing the legend that is Kenta Kobashi-san. What were your thoughts on seeing Kenta Kobashi here as he took on Samoa Joe?
It was amazing to watch. I mean, I didn't know how old he was. And he looked young to me as well. So like him and Joe looked very similar, or I thought similar ages, but he can fight, he can go. There was many times as you saw me sitting there going, wow, there's no way he can do that, like lift Joe, do all that. It shocks me because he's very talented and I wish I'd seen that back then to watching it now. That's a lot of the things, like some of these matches we watch I haven't seen before. So some of it is like, but the crowd back then was just absolutely mental. He's very talented, and like Rob said, if they did it again now, it'd be up to me a 5-star match because they were just, it was totally, the dynamic was brilliant, and they're both very talented men. So
was the old school DVD cover from back in the day when ROH was much more a DVD product, that small little case of ROH on Ring of Honor TV and DVD. So what's cool?
The last time anyone mentioned the word DVD?
I know, right?
I mean, how weird is that? That's an outdated media source now.
I know, right? It's crazy. Like I
look at I still got DVDs downstairs in my living room.
Yes.
Oh, I've got hundreds of them.
Yeah. And the fact that this was only his first, and then as we saw the next night, it would be Kobashi and friggin' Loki against Homicide and Samoa Joe. Like, Samoa Joe and Low-Ki, Kobashi, and Homicide, like you're combining a lot of greats in here when it comes to Kobashi's introduction to the States. And especially in 2005, Ring of Honor had only been in existence for 3 years and had already taken on a life of its own. Now, mind you, when this came out, this was in October of 2005, October 1st. So Ring of Honor during this time period, and I know you guys we're going to say what we're going to say here because of an individual we're going to mention. This was 2 months after the infamous Summer of Punk, before CM Punk would go to the WWE.
Yeah.
so CM Punk was out, and Samoa Joe and TNA was still working with Ring of Honor a little bit. Samoa Joe had just started with TNA. The match against Sanjay Dutt at Slammiversary, Chris Sabin. This was a month after we saw the infamous triple threat with Styles, Joe, and Daniels. So this is early Samoa Joe TNA, but he's still doing some Ring of Honor on the side piece here. And then you have this big dream matchup, and I mean, look at this card even from top to bottom, and then we'll get more into it. So this card featured, and here's some names that are going to just rock your world here. Claudio Castagnoli against Colt Cabana. Christopher Daniels against Azriel, who was a independent talent at the time, worked a lot in Jersey All Pro Wrestling on the Northeast, and Matt Seidel, a.k.a. Evan Bourne. Sal Renaro. I know Sal Renaro and Tony Mamaluke of the FBI against B.J. Whitmer. And Jimmy Jacobs. Now, this is before the 2-2. Before the
I love the Zombie Princess, though.
Before the Zombie Princess.
Before the 2-2.
He's always been another one I really love. He's so cool. So yeah, even in the 2-2, it didn't bother me if you were in the 2-2, mate. You were a zombie.
We had Nigel McGuinness. Nicola, go ahead. Nigel McGuinness.
Oh, fuck you, Nigel. I'm joking.
Nigel McGuinness and Jay Lethal for the ROH Pure title. Roderick Strong against Jimmy Rave, God rest his soul, with Jade Chung and Prince Nana in a grudge match. Prince Nana, the Embassy, baby, at Jimmy Rave. Now, you know who Jade Chung is, right? Jade Chung, who was with them.
That's
Josh Alexander.
Josh Alexander's wife.
Yeah, Josh Alexander's wife.
Okay. I didn't know that. Nice.
Ricky Reyes against Pele Primo, who was a mainstay in Ring of Honor around the time. He was one of the top of the class guys, one of the youngsters in Ring of Honor in the ROH class.
Haven't heard those names in a while.
Well, this match was only 47 seconds, the shortest one on the night. Ricky Reyes absolutely. James Gibson, the former Jamie Noble, and Jimmy Yang, a.k.a. Jimmy Wang Yang, a.k.a. Akio, who were in Ring of Honor at this time. Jack Evans. We all know Jack Evans and Homicide, one-on-one. And, of course, Kenta Kobashi and Samoa Joe. So, pretty stacked card from the October 1st one, man.
That's a solid card.
This was at the New Yorker Hotel, which I'm going to say probably where me and the New Yorker, as I put my hands up like this again, the New Yorker. This was probably where I grew up on Long Island. This was in the city. So, this was about an hour-ish away from where I lived. And you know how many people were in this attendance at this event?
Go on.
800 people.
Wow.
800 people to see Kenta Kobashi and Samoa Joe on a prime indie at the time. That being real.
Wow, that's crazy.
It is.
Ring of Honor at a hotel. Damn.
Yeah, the New Yorker hotel that they performed.
Oh, that's just terrifying. I don't want to know what went on in there.
Oh, you know what it is? I'm going to tell you what they did. So somebody got their phone and they said, "Stay put. I want to take a picture of your feet." Yes.
I knew that was coming. I
want to take a picture of their feet.
Hey, yo, Tony Atlas. Tony Atlas. What are you doing?
People got obsessions with taking pictures of feet.
Come on, man.
I get that. I get people have weird ass fetishes. But each and our own, dude. Do you want to play with feet? Fuck it. Go for it, mate.
Sometimes you got to stand on sometimes I got to stand on your face. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to stand on your face.
Stand on your face. You know?
Stand on the face.
Stand on your face.
My bum is on your lips. My bum is on your lips. So, so I will say this about this. Samoa Joe really into his career. We talked about the TNA Ring of Honor stuff, how this combined, and I'll start with Robert on this. So this matchup right out the get-go. They work the holds. They work the friggin' the chop fest at the beginning. They're taunting each other. They're kicking each other, really filling each other out. This is a prime example, even before strong style became as popularized as it did later on. But this was the start of just really what represented Japanese strong style.
100%. I think for people that are maybe just getting into this style of wrestling, I think it would be almost imperative that you watch this match to kind of get an introduction to the style, because I think Kobashi was definitely in the forefront of that movement. And even going back to watch like some Misawa and Kobashi, Kawada, all that stuff from All Japan, anything on the King's Road, man. That's all pretty solid stuff to kind of get a taste, if you will, of that style of wrestling.
But that's the thing too, man. I think with what has become, I mean, I look at it like this with the UK. I mean, the WWE, when they did the UK stuff and we got introduced to Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, for those who've never seen it, and the Japan style things. I mean, we got introduced to the Nakamura's, the Naitos, the Okadas, bitch. And we got to see a lot of great people do their things. I mean, even for God's sake, we had, Tomohiro Ishii and a lot of those greats in Ring of Honor. The influx from American talent into Japan, I thought it was only inclined that he really have his first bout, an American bout in Ring of Honor, just because how much Ring of Honor, especially Gabe Sapolsky and all the bookers like Kerry Silkin at the time, really respected the art of Japanese wrestling.
100%. And you can tell they respected the art, because they made that match memorable, because it's still talked about 20 plus years later.
Mm-hmm. And now, Nicola, I'll go over to you, because as we mentioned before, you could say it again twice. Dave Meltzer had
in your fucking office, or I will burn it to the ground, and he'll help me.
Dave, together, Uncle Dave.
We help people burn offices.
We help people.
They help people. Demoness does not help people.
Burning offices. Just friggin' Dave Meltzer's friggin' phone is just like, why is this woman want to burn my office? Why is this?
Because you don't know how to fucking clean it, mate. Seriously, do not go on here showing your office when it looks like a trash bag.
Can't we just get along without anger? Would you like to watch the Young Bucks with me? No, I digress. So we'll go back.
Anger. That's all I am, is anger and rage. Well, not yet. In about 20 minutes, then.
Even Howard.
Close.
Nicola, we'll start with you as far as the Japanese strong style as well. Roberto and I are very amped on this, as I know you are, with this kind of wrestling and this art form, this craft. Talk about how we just come out the gate with the chops, the kicks. The man's chest is red. The sweat is dripping off, and he's chopping him right in his chest. Talk about just that intensity. Woo!
All you kept seeing when that was happening was me go, actually, that hurts my chest. Why is that hurting? Watching it, but wow, they did not stop with the slapping. Them chops were mad, and both of them were just red raw. It looked like that. Yeah, that was crazy. And obviously, I'd never seen that style of wrestling. Well, I have now, years later, but like back then. And yeah, the kicks, the chops, like the throw, all of it amazed me, because it was something different, and they both just went absolutely mental on each other. That was crazy, but how all the same?
But that's the thing too. I think we know what we were going to get.
And no one wants to be chopped by a fucking Joe anyway, because that is going to fucking hurt.
Especially now, because he's older and he's got some girth to
and he's got some more
paws.
Yep.
Also, the top to the neck. Holy crap! It was like, oh wow, that. No wonder Joe at the end's laying there like that, going, "Oh, help!"
That was Kobashi's style. It was mostly chops, spinning back
It's
fists.
awesome. I wish I'd seen it back then, but obviously I didn't, because I didn't know much about Ring of Honor back then. Whereas now, I'm getting there now, and I know some other guys. I've seen him live in the UK as well, so I'm lucky on that one.
Okay. The Snowman owns Ring of Honor, so
the Snowman owns Ring of Honor, so we really don't see much of Ring of Honor.
For God's sake!
You know he does. He's been owning it for 3 years now, since 2020.
I know, and he's not still sailing. I've got to sort that out. Stupid fucking snowman.
I gotta say, every time I think of Ring of Honor, all I think is, You know what? I now own Ring of Honor. No, it's not Shane. It's not Shane. That's all I think about is freaking Tony saying it's not Shane when he's talking because he's such a freaking that he had to put it. It's not. Look, and I've said this many a times as someone who's been watching the Ring of Honor product since 05, and we've been there through the beginning. I'm sorry, it's not the same Ring of Honor with what we had with Joe and Kobashi to what we have now. And I love Athena. I think Athena is great, but God damn it, when this woman is from Texas and the fact that she's not on this card, what are we doing? Like, seriously, what are we doing? And I don't mean to gripe on that, but Rob, you see where I'm coming from, both Nicola as well. Like, come on now. You got a woman like Athena and you got All In Texas. Let's put this woman on.
He's too busy focusing on that other thing who doesn't know what English breakfasts are. I'm paying. And you can take that for $100.
But no, I think you can both agree with me on this because this does pertain to Ring of Honor. And I mean, we jokes aside, and we love, I'll pay you, but it's one of those things where the fact that Tony, the good part about this, Tony, and we'll give you a plus side, and we'll keep you on the yacht for now.
No, we won't.
Yeah,
they will. I won't.
The plus side of the fact that Ring of Honor is still around, it does give a lot of people like Athena's, the Billy Starks, the Renegade Twins, so many great people over there doing their thing. And it's a legacy that Tony wanted to keep going because Tony has been to those events, much like he was back in the days with ECW when he was cheering for Chris Jericho, who, thank God, has finally took a break. Chris, I'm not going to badmouth you, but thank God you finally took a break, you stupid son of a bitch. So there's a slow clap.
I'm not going to badmouth you.
Thanks.
Clap for you, Chris.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. So, minus Chris Jericho being Ring of Honor champion, there is a plus with what we have with Ring of Honor. Stick around, and I'll start with Rob again on this. Prime Ring of Honor, early stages of Ring of Honor, from when we had the likes of Eddie Guerrero, God rest his soul, as a part of Ring of Honor. We had people like the Low Keys, the Homicides, the James Gibsons, the Jimmy Yangs, the Seidel's, the Cabanas, the Daniels, the AJ Styleses, the Jimmy Raves, so on and so forth. This was also the same year when Matt Hardy made his debut in Ring of Honor after getting fired from the WWE with the Edge Lita angle, and he infamously said to Vince McMahon and all those other assholes at the WWE, if you want to know how to run a professional wrestling event, why don't you pop in a few ROH DVDs? So with that being said, Roberto Davis, talk about the influx of ROH in 2005 and the primeness of what we got to see with independent wrestling.
You know what? I'm glad promotions like these existed back then. I actually had stopped watching wrestling in 2005. Had I known Ring of Honor existed, I didn't even know TNA really existed, kind of here and there. I probably would have kept watching because Ring of Honor in 2005 was great. I mean, just everything. I mean, maybe up until now, and considering what they've gone through in the last couple of years, goddamn COVID. But it kept the industry alive because these goddamn flies.
That's all right.
I've got the same here as well. It's got moths everywhere, and I'm like, I know it is. It's that woman over there.
I mean, I'm going on a killing spree after we get off here, but
the
2000 Ring of Honor, and if Ring of Honor wasn't there in 2005, we wouldn't have the people we have today. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, all these guys that came through Ring of Honor. Like, if it wasn't for Ring of Honor, what would WWE look like? What would AEW look like? Wow. TNA probably wouldn't even look the same, to be honest.
And TNA and Ring of Honor have been around as equal amount of time as each other, both in 2002, their startup, which is crazy to think both companies have officially been around for 23 years, right?
It's wild.
And yet I only watched one of them, which was obviously TNA at the time. So, yeah, I didn't really focus on, but, yeah.
I feel like I'm in Forrest Gump right now. You got flies over here. I'm swatting flies. I feel like these goddamn flies. It's a goddamn Lion Johnson in this goddamn war. Anyway, I digress.
You still have got flies, and I've just got moths. But as I said, I know I'm blaming for that one.
They get in your house, folks. They're creepy. The creepy crawlers get into your freaking.
Moths, I'm not worried about. I just let them fly. I'm just like, whatever. But if it's a 8-legged creep, then I'm like, right off.
Yeah, well, if it's like an eight-legged freak, that's like that crappy ass David Arquette movie that came out in 02, Eight-Legged Freaks.
Oh, that
That
should have just
movie was
that.
the
No,
shit. Oh god, it was horrible.
that was a load of shit. You know
Good
what?
Lord.
I only don't like. I watched Arachnophobia. That's what killed me off. I was like, no, fuck, no, that is the worst. But if you're afraid of spiders, do not watch that fucking film.
Yeah, note to self,
Seriously.
to anybody. Don't if you're a David Arquette fan and if you've never heard of Eight-Legged Freaks,
Oh, a load
you're
of shit.
you're
That could suck my dick.
Yeet.
Yeet. I'm not even gonna put the counter now. It's just yeet, baby. Suck my dick. It's just yeet,
I'm
baby.
saying this right now, Lisa, I am so sorry.
So anyway, point is, folks, if you're a David Arquette fan, if you've never heard of Eight-Legged Freaks, you're the lucky one because it was
Yeah,
terrible.
don't waste your time watching that
Waste your
bullshit.
time watching
Seriously,
that movie.
go watch something different. Oh no,
Oh, okay.
go
So
watch Thunderbolt. That's a good film.
there you So back to the match. Nicola, my question to you as well is to the state of Ring of Honor, to where you got to see it in later years to see it now. How is it great is it to see not just Ring of Honor, but still more professional wrestling companies showcasing their longevity like a TNA, like a Ring of Honor, still being around for people to work because it's awesome to see.
I love the crowd and everything from back then. There's so much energy in like that match we just watched. Even the crowd were it's just buzzing, and you could actually like feel like the way they were all feeling. There's a big difference from now and then, obviously, because there's a lot like the crowds were closer as well. So
Mhm.
like obviously now they're not like it's all spread out and they've got ratings. Whereas back then they were literally practically in the ring with them. There was like no room to like if
Mhm.
they like we saw with that part where they threw Samoa Joe went running. I thought he was going to do that roll, but he normally does, but he didn't. And I was like, it was the crowd for me, and obviously the size of the ring. I prefer. I've always said this, even with TNA, any of it. I prefer back then to now. But obviously, I understand why, because you've got to keep the fans away from them in case they do something fucking stupid and slap one of them and they get beaten up by it. And we've seen that many times in wrestling, so we
I was gonna
know.
say, because that's never happened.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Some
Dumbass.
dumbass reach out and try to slap a wrestler, and then they slap them back and they sit down there going, well,
What?
what did I do? And they get removed. Oh, fuck off. You should never try and reach out and slap a wrestler. If you do, then you're fucking dumb.
It's like that one fan who Eddie Guerrero and Rob Van Dam in that ladder match, and then friggin' the guy Eddie pulls him down and right hands him right in the face. Like, you don't want to fuck with Eddie Guerrero. What the hell are you doing, you dumbass?
There's been other times that I've seen it, and I'm just like, you're dumb. You've just literally laid your hands on him. What the? You imagine doing that to Kieran Cross right now? He
Oh
just laid his
God.
What do you think about it? He'd just be like, excuse you.
Murder.
Murder. Now,
Oh,
I
yeah.
will say this. When it comes to Kobashi and Joe, the reactions, and I'm going to say watching this, and I'm sure a lot of you folks who watch this as well, the fact of the matter is not only did we get the chops, the kicks, the strikes, and a muscle buster, a DDT on the outside, like Nicola mentioned, the running kicks and the chops, and Samoa Joe going into the crowd. Samoa Joe, who can still do a tope suicida right through the ropes, even at 46, like he did when he was 27, is absolutely nuts. Even though he has more girth on him now, is still great to see. But my thing, that takeaway from it, man, is Kobashi hit this man with like 3 half Nelson suplex, and he landed on the back of his dome piece. And it was just, And I'll start with Nicola first because she saw some people getting dropped on there. Say it with me now. Dome piece! So, Nicola, talk about watching him getting dropped on his dome piece and the feeling that it felt inside your loins.
It made me go like first, holy fuck, and wow, that's fucking amazing. I was like, yes, because one, I didn't think he'd be able to lift him up for a start. That always shocks me, but it was crazy. It was amazing, and ouch, holy shit, that looked like it hurt.
Rob, your thoughts on the half Nelson suplex? I mean, it's a very common move that we've seen many of times, but for someone of the size of Samoa Joe taking it from Kobashi, talk about it, Rob.
And the thing that amazed me the most is, Samoa Joe is when he's 27, he's still not a very light guy, still at least 240, 250. And Kobashi was able to get him up like nothing. Like that really kind of speaks to the strength of Kobashi. But at the same
You've
time,
got to be strong to pick up Joe.
yeah,
Simple as.
pretty much, and it speaks to the fortitude, the testicular fortitude of Samoan Joseph to get dropped on his dome piece 3 times and still get up.
Yeah, and he just got up and was like, "I'm fine."
Yeah. Until he got to the back and just said, "Nap time."
Nap time. That's the thing too that you'll see. Besides being dropped on their dome pieces, the fact of the matter is these two were sweating. The red on their chests. This was a proper match that you would see at the Tokyo Dome when they're getting the ice packs on their friggin' neck and everything after a 25, 30-minute match. It's like you're watching Ospreay and Hiromu Takahashi going at it for the junior championship.
Oh, bro.
Bruv!
Brother, man. Actually, no, I've got mad love for you right now. It's fine. I did hear him say something the other day, and I was just like, no, shut up. Stop talking, please stop talking.
Typical bruv.
Typical bruv.
I was like, babe, I'm not going to jump off the top of this freaking ladder. Oh, fuck, no, mate. No.
Well, I don't know if you saw his missus signed with the company, so
yes,
so she's there with him now.
Shout out to
you know what? That's what I get. He calls her his missus, and I hate it because everyone here calls like, oh, girlfriends, wives. Oh, this is my missus. It's like, no. Yeah, you are. Or the way he goes, I was like, babe, on the phone to her. Will, please stop.
Shut up, Will.
Shut up, Will.
Shut the fuck up and go play with Philip Bang.
Yeah, she's there with him now. So hopefully,
that's awesome. Yeah. That is awesome. At least now she can keep him under a leash or something.
Maybe.
So I hate to say this, but how long before Alex Windsor starts jobbing to Mercedes Moné?
I hope not. I hope she goes a different way and goes out like maybe.
I mean, Tony Storm. Like, if you want a new challenger for Tony Storm, let's go, Alex Windsor. Come on now, man. Like, come on, man.
I did love our interaction, Tony Storm and her, and I was just like, okay then, Tony, you tell her, please beat the crap out of her.
I never wanted to eat a steak more in my life. My goodness gracious, she's just getting a chomp out of that steak. My God, man.
Mercedes is fighting the CMLL Women's Champion next Wednesday.
Zoo6,
yes. And when that match got announced, I got very upset.
Now we're gonna have a rant. Get ready for it.
Fucking swear to God, if this lady gets another goddamn belt.
Is it for the title?
Yes, it's for the title.
Oh, she's winning it then.
God damn it.
Well, can we kind of say congratulations with the middle finger here? Because she did just win a championship in Austria, as you know. She just won a title.
So I can't say congratulations to her, but
it's like that, bro. You're just showing up to random promotions around the world taking belts.
She
reminds me of when Bobby Lashley did it in TNA when he was just collecting belts, and it was just like, oh, mate. The only title we didn't get was the women's title. The only one we didn't get was the women's title. But fuck's sake, give it up.
See, this is why I appreciate her for the amount of years that I've known her and I and our relationship starting because of TNA. Because this one over here, bringing it back to friggin' America, whatever the hell his thing was. What the hell was it called? The America. Oh God, fucking his team. Fucker. What the hell was it? Bobby Lashley and Dan Lambert. Oh, American Top Team.
Oh, American Top Team.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I was friggin' the world
MVP, wasn't it? It was MVP, and I've forgotten who the other one was, but yeah.
That was the beatdown clan. Was Bobby, MVP, Samoa Joe, and Loki? Yeah, Kenny King.
Yeah, Kenny King. Wow, Kenny King. That's a name I've not heard for a long time.
Yeah, but what we're referring to is friggin' Bobby Lashley with the world title, the X title, this title, the King of the Mountain title, friggin' Kevin Matthews and all those people in American Top Team with him. Fucking KM is now a producer in AEW. My God.
Yes, he is.
And now MVP and Bobby Lashley are in AEW. Oh, yeah.
People.
We are
people.
Yeah, I'll bet you do.
I gotta say, the fact that he also did in this match, not only get the muscle buster and the STF and everything, but this was not the typical Joe was like doing. We got it in Sigurian, but it was mostly nicely as well paced with the chops and everything. They slowed it down with the abdominal stretch, then they picked it back up, and the right outcome with Kenta Kobashi winning with that lariat. My God, what a lariato that was. And I figured we asked this as well. And Roberto, I'll start with you. Talk about the pacing too, because what I loved about this pacing is, yes, it's going to be a little slow in spots, and we're going to kick the crap out of each other. Then we build to the spots of the lariats, the muscle busters, the ensiguris, the dives. But they had a nice little pace with this.
You know what? I thought the pacing was actually very good because when, and again, this is, I guess, figuratively speaking, because I've never wrestled, but I've done, stuff like this where you have to go a long distance. The cardio is very important in that, and if you got to go out there and wrestle for 30 minutes, you have to pace it all. You can't go balls to the wall in the first 10 minutes because then you're gassed for 20 minutes, and then you're just not performing, and then you're taking the crowd out of it, and you suck, and you don't want that. So I thought this was paced pretty well because it flowed very nicely, and just the flow of things really kind of culminated well. It started hot, slowed down, hot, slowed down. It made for a very enjoyable match considering how long it was.
23 minutes of excellence is literally all I could say. And Nicola, you want to talk about the pacing too as well, because we got some kicks, we got some strikes, we got some dome piece plexes, as I like to call them now. We got some lariats, we got some shots to the outside, dives, and everything in between. Talk about the pacing, Nicola McDonald.
I liked it. It was like a roller coaster, but it was good. The pacing was needed because of how long that match was. So it was kind of like fast, slow, and then like a massive at the end. So yeah, I kind of liked it that way. Plus, you can then focus on everything else that's going on, as otherwise just the same thing. And you're just like, no. So yeah, they did it the right way, 100%.
That's the art of professional wrestling. And I think when you think of the craft like this, I mean, 3 years earlier, even prior to this, we had China against Masahiro Chono in friggin' Japan. For God rest her soul, China, like her first match outside the WWF, and she's taking on Masahiro Chono.
That match was fucking nuts. It's funny you brought that up because I just watched it again like 3 weeks ago.
Nice. Well, that'll
Jesus.
I will add that to this because we'll probably watch it on here too. Because if y'all have never seen China Masahiro Chono, my God, China took an ass whooping, but she gave it right back to Chono. She
absolutely did. Anybody who's not familiar with what China can do outside of WWE, this would be a match to watch because holy crap.
That's the thing too. She is. I've always looked at it like this. When any talent from WWE would get released and you'd see them go over to 0-1 or Pro Wrestling Noah or New Japan or All Japan, that really heightened their careers because you could see them doing this character over here in WWE and their vision of what it is. But then you could see guys like Rico and fucking Bull Buchanan are the All Japan Tag Team Champions, or even Tyson Tomko could go from being the problem solver and even being in TNA, as Nicola knows, with the Christian Coalition with AJ Styles, Tomko, Kurt Angle, Christian Cage, and he could be over here with Giant Bernard for the IWG.
It's funny that you bring up Rico because me and Harold from the TSK, we were talking about that. Rico in Japan?
Yep.
Not the same Rico in WWF.
Not at all.
Like not even fucking close.
Like him and fucking Bull Buchanan as a tag team in Japan was nuts.
Like what? Like how come we couldn't get this in WWE?
That's what I'm saying. I said with Tomko and Bernard too. Like
Albert said something where stuck his ass.
God damn it, you're gonna be the problem solver. Yeah.
No, did he?
You know what we do with problems?
We solve them.
Oh, that dude can go to hell.
I know.
Oh wait, no. No, you can't because that's our home. So no.
That's where we're at.
This is the same guy who wanted to put a blue dot over Christian's face because he didn't like his face. God damn it, look at his face.
Why can I agree with that? That's one thing I can agree with.
That is fucking wild.
He did. He was that bad with it. Just
I don't like your face.
I like your face. Put a dot over it. God damn it.
We don't like his face, but we still have to keep saying it. So yeah.
Make it blue.
That's what reminds me of Raven when friggin' like he's back in like his second run.
Raven.
Yep. his second run in WWE, and like he didn't know what he was using him, and then Vince goes, "Who the fuck hired Raven?" JR, you did.
Notice I'm pointing to the picture in the back by Rob. I'm like, yeah, look there.
I know.
That's our Raven.
Yeah, I feel you. I see. Yeah, I know. I see it.
When the Raven calls,
When the Raven calls,
from the shadow, we will answer.
You'll see that at the beginning of the show if you want to know what we're talking about with the Raven. But yeah, that's the
We
thing
will
too.
do a show based on that eventually.
Yes. Yes, we will. But that's the thing too. It's like when people get released, and even around this time, like people go into Japan, and I mean, Charlie Haas did some work in Japan. Spanky, the former Brian Kendrick, would go over there. We got to see Sylvester. I know Sylvester Terkay when he was the Predator before he came to WWE and got ruined with being with Elijah Burke, and just he was nothing. And I like Elijah Burke. I love the Pope, but yeah, this is when just they had really nothing with these guys. They just put them on TV like that and nothing. But yeah. I always enjoyed like the fact that the indies gave us stuff that a lot of stuff that we didn't see in our normal promotions, our regular mainstream promotions, and then over here, here's Japan who's fucking killing it. Again, they get it's almost like, and I'll say rest in peace to Sly Stone who just passed away. It's almost like thank you for letting me be myself again. Yeah, so that's what Japan brings you. Yes. Well, that's what it is, man. And I got to say, any type of wrestling, Nicola and Rob can agree. It's awesome. And if you guys, again, have not seen Kenta Kobashi and Samoa Joe, we pretty much gave you everything. Strikes, kicks, and a whole hell of a lot of great action between a Japanese legend and a wrestling and professional wrestling and Samoa Joe, who's still from AEW, TNA, Ring of Honor, WWE, can absolutely mollywop you. And he is a perfect example of why Joe is going to kill you.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to see Samoa Joe in the first cage match they did in London years and years and years ago. And we're going to do a show based on that one as well because there were some funny moments in that show that I saw.
The Aces and Eights will be talked about. There will be an episode on the Aces and Eights, please believe.
But I was lucky enough to see Joe fight in a cage, and the atmosphere, wow, for him in the UK was absolutely crazy. And it was cool, so like really, really epic to see him just charging across this like ring and just doing a roll and watching Kurt Angle go bash. It was him versus Kurt Angle at the time. And also the Aces and Eights appeared and did that shit and fuck you, Aces and Eights. Yeah.
Well, I think the only other thing I could say about this match, because again, we've covered a lot of bases here and we got to be our zany selves, which is why I love introducing new matches, especially to the crazy demon lady over here, just because you're coming apart to the Japan, the British strong style, the strong style in general. You're learning, man. You're adapting. You're growing. What?
What?
So the last thing I gotta mention, suck my dick, yeet,
yes.
is the fact that
sorry, Jay.
Last thing
we love you really, but yeah, I was being stupid that day. Literally yesterday when this happened.
we mentioned the crowd. We mentioned the electricity of just this is awesome and just them and just the electricity of that New Yorker hotel. But the chants we heard at the end of this, both men were walking back to the ring. Match of the year. I would have to agree with that because, I mean, looking at that time period, I mean, you can also say for TNA, you did have Styles, Joe, and Daniels. That was a hell of a match. For the WWE side, you did have Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 21, which was epic. There was a lot of great stuff in there, but this one, for the dream match and for something that was new to a lot of people, this certainly was the match of the year. Take it away, Rob.
100%. It sounds like 2005 was a pretty good year for wrestling. Knowing that now, I kind of wish I would have hung around a little bit, but alas, it didn't work that way. But being able to go back and kind of witness that it's been awesome to see that pro wrestling, as long as it's been around, as long as these promotions have been around, they're still thriving, and there's going to be something there for everybody. Whether it's somebody coming to America for their first time and having a match like this, to somebody with a iguana puppet who is now insanely
Mr. Iguana.
Mr. Iguana.
That was epic.
And and all it took was one match.
Yep.
And and there's something for everybody in this, zany fucking sport that we all love.
Nicolin, we'll go to you. Your thoughts on the match of the year, Chance, and do you agree match of the year candidate for 2005, Joe and Kobashi-san?
100%, yeah, I do, because obviously if I hadn't seen that match, then I would have gone with what you said, Samoa Joe, Daniels, and AJ, because they always had such a brilliant dynamic between the three of them, and they still do to this day. If you put all three of them in a ring, they would still take it to crazy town, so to speak. But yeah, definitely match of the year.
Agreed. Hold on. I'm laughing at bringing it to Crazy Town over here. This one, bringing it to Crazy Town.
I'm the owner of Crazy Town. It's called Demon Crazy Town.
Well, the thing is, you almost like you want to make me sing "You're My Butterfly Sugar Baby" with that Crazy Town reference. My goodness gracious. Hell yeah, man. But yeah, that was pretty much the year of 2005 and the year of Kobashi-san and Samoa Joe. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the Crazy Town "You're My Butterfly Sugar Baby," Rob. As I mentioned to Nicola, she was bringing it to Crazy Town. Guys, I will say this. You had a lot of laughs. I'm still crying from SMD Yeet. SMDY. That's the new thing around these parts.
SMDY. Put it on a shirt.
Joey's going to come after me now and go, I don't mind the yeet part, but don't add suck my dick to it. Oh, sorry. And we love Jey Uso on this show, by the way, so massive yeet, but obviously me being sick. Can we talk about Ron Killing, please?
Okay, hold on. All right. So let me add this point, then we'll go into the Ron Killings thing briefly, and then we'll close it out. Okay, hold on, right. And then we'll get more into the Wyatts and all that on the next show, so that's fine. Yeah. We'll do Ron Killings. Hold on. So the point I was trying to make before SMDY came into was the fact that when it comes to wrestling, like Rob said, there's something for everyone, and Iguana is over in 2025. There's something from the New Japan style, the Japanese style, Ring of Honor, and everything that matches like this, including Kenta Kobashi and Samoa Joe 20 years later, bring us all together, and also has Nicola to watch these new great matchups that she has never seen.
I love it. Some of these I've never seen, so I get to sit, and I think their reaction is funny because they're both watching me, and I'm like, "Wait, what? Why did I like that?" This? But yeah, I'm getting there.
So we'll mention this before we close out because Nicola brought it up. All right, I'm going to say this right now. Triple H, and look, when he goes on the presser and he's like, "Man, it's a part of the show." Okay, here's the thing. People lost their mind. Yeah, that too. But people lost their minds. But I'm like, you do realize he can't go to them and say, yeah, we fucked up. You can't say that on the friggin' media scrum that you fucked up. So he has to say that it was a work. But no, it was a case of he has a budget. And you know who the real one is that really gets the finger? And it's Ariel. It's friggin' Arya Emanuel, TKO. Yeah. Arya Emanuel. Yeah. Not even that. Right here. Arya Emanuel. It's all you, baby. So Arya Emanuel, the man behind TKO, and we've said this many times, a lot of the TKO guys are not really wrestling fans. They're just guys that are here to with the numbers, the budget, and everything. But out of all the people, like, to take the budget out of Ron Killings, Archer.
Sorry. Killings. Did you see the thing I sent you earlier of him being interviewed?
Oh, I'm freaking it open, and he's like, "Who the fuck are you? You want to talk about me cutting my hair? I'm driving this car now. I'm driving this car."
You know what? I had a feeling that something was going to happen, but I weren't sure what it was. And then as soon as like he dived in at Cena, I was just like, "Oh wow!" But then the thing is, he's now evil, or like someone else is steering. We know all about that, us two over here, where someone else is driving. But it was just, why players like that, and why fuck with him? Make it make sense.
Well, I don't think they played us. I think they fucked up and they found out. And they found out.
And now he's literally gonna go fucking mental on them, and they deserve it. If I think I wonder who's going after first, but yeah, you fucked up, Hunter. You really did on that one.
So
of all people.
Well, here's him. Thing. I know. Well, Nick Khan was the one who's like, "Let's reach out," and yeah, Nick Khan was great who reached out to him. Well, I can't say fuck you to Nick Khan because Nick Khan was the one who got him back.
Oh, okay, fine.
No, you're fine. Nick Nick Khan. Oh, well, we're saying fuck you to TKO because here's what pissed me off.
Yeah.
No, not even a mention of R-Truth getting released. It's just, back to normal. We got UFC this weekend. Everybody, it's like, no, fuck you. Yeah, you bring back R-Truth, you sons of bitches. Like, don't just move on like it's nothing. You fired one of the most loyal, most beloved people in the profession.
And yet, he heard everyone. Every time, every chant, we want truth, we want truth. And now he's come back, cut his hair, and now we have this, and he deserves to go apeshit on all of them.
This whole thing.
They don't deserve his time, to be fair, after the way they treated him. That was disgusting.
The weekend of just everybody was so happy that he came back and hit Cena with the title, cut his hair in one of the most impassioned promos on Raw. And Rob, since you didn't see this, we're going to play this. This was R-Truth on Busted Open with Dave LaGreca and Natalia.
Who the fuck he talking to? Who he telling me who I am?
Right.
I know who I am. I'm protecting him. And see, everybody got somebody that's trying to tell them who the fuck they are. I know who I am. I'm not the nice one. I'm driving now. Don't let nobody tell you who you are. You know you better than anybody else know. And I know me better than anybody else know me too. And they better put some respect on my name because I am the truth. So help me.
Let's fucking go.
Wow.
Yeah, I
How you gonna tell me why I cut my hair? I do what I want to do. It ain't that nice time no more. But I'm not angry.
Oh, you are.
I won't be taken advantage of no more. Things gonna change around here. I'm driving now. Oh.
That was epic.
Let's fucking go.
It reminds me of Ron Killing's early TNA where he's cutting the promo in friggin' as the NWA champion. Like, this is what we needed. And if we give me a serious R-Truth and John Cena at Saturday night's main event, not the one that we got that was like 4 minutes. Give me a serious Ron Killings versus John Cena, I'm here for it. Hell, give me something.
I'm going to make him smile. And he's like, obviously he's funny and everything, but right now he's got every right to be going fucking hate shit on him. So, no love to you, and we're all glad you're back, by the way, even if it is under shitty circumstances. But yeah,
look at it like this: he's having a prime run at 53. Like, who can say that?
Who can say that? Maybe.
I really hope he goes to Cena and punch the title. Oh yeah, Grandpa Sting. Fucking hell! I saw a picture of him the other day with a long beard. I was like, oh hell no!
I know.
Had a hell of a final run.
He did,
but he's probably the only one.
Yeah.
But I hope.
Go ahead, Nicola. I'm sorry.
No. I interrupt you two all the time. Your turn.
No, you're
I'm
fine.
glad you two love me because I could not get away with that.
No. Well, we know. We're all passionate people. We're all passionate people here. Yeah.
Suck my dick.
Neat. So
it's only for me saying it now. So there's like 20 of all three of us.
It's never not going to get old. It's not.
No.
But that's the thing. Oh, you're fine. Well, we have predictions in a couple weeks because we're going back to Riyadh, and we'll mention it briefly because the main event looks. I know John Cena versus CM Punk for the time. CM Punk's going to Saudi Arabia. I know the blood covered, dick.
Go suck a blood covered dick. Blood money covered
dick, Miz.
Why? But then again, I said this months ago. I really hope John Cena don't get CM Punk.
Well, it makes sense because the weekend of this event is the 14-year anniversary of the pipe bomb. And when you think of his historic rivalries during his career, CM Punk is in there. They drew money together. I understand. But here's my thing. I look at it like this. Number one, he was going to go there anyway because what's in January? The Royal Rumble. And where's the Royal Rumble going to be? Saudi. So they're doing that there. But also number two, as someone who always stuck on principle about he would never go over there, I think it's also the business of this as well as the fans, because we've said it even with our and with our little circle here, and I can say this here, I think these two can vouch for me. We don't hate the fans of Saudi Arabia. We really don't. We love the fans of Saudi Arabia, the most passionate fans. It's the government. We don't like the government. It's the problem.
We don't like our government.
We don't like our government here either. Actually, we don't like fucking any royals here, but we're not going into that crap.
No,
Fucking
but
fucking idiots.
the point is, I also think it's a part of the story because when you saw Raw, did you see Cena's inflection in his voice? Nah, I'm going to make you wait. I'm going to make you go to Saudi. And he had a smile on his face because he knows that CM Punk doesn't want to go to Saudi. So you want to talk about the ultimate heel move from John Cena. John Cena knows.
Yeah.
You know what? I can't believe we're saying this. I'll be glad when his run's over. Honestly, he's seriously pissing me off.
Well, I think we're going to have him lose to Cody at SummerSlam, and then we get the babyface John for the rest of the year, which I'm fine.
No, mate, look now. He loses to Ron. That would fuck.
I hope it's. Here's the thing. I hope it's Ron Killings, but I think we're going to Cody. Whoa! It makes sense because he is the top babyface right now. But can we put some respect literally on the Truth's name? Can we give him something like give him a proper run, if you will?
Got that Minoru Suzuki haircut.
Oh my goodness, the hair.
See, Ron Killing's about to cause the Union RA, everybody. And y'all ain't even ready for it.
Well,
he's about to destroy the world and everything in it.
Well, I say with destroying the world and a lot of great stuff coming up, and the right move, WWE bringing that man back. The right move. People listen. That's the thing. If people say that people don't listen, well, you listened, and we now have R-Truth back in our good graces. Ron Killings, back in our good graces. So
it's all part of the show.
When he said that, I literally wanted to throw something on my TV. It's part of the show.
Again, I love Triple H. I love the Paul Levesque era, but he's terrible when it comes to media. Like asking about the dirt sheet question, this now, like he's terrible. You could have just said, you know what? We're glad to have him back, or something of that measure. We're glad to have him back. We negotiated, and here we are. Let's have some fun. Let's have a show.
Do fucking AEW and WWE share the same PR person?
Well, the PR person that used to work for WWE is now in AEW, Adam Hopkins. I don't know who the PR guy is now.
You're right. Yeah. It's time.
It's time.
It's like Tony. Well. Speaking of time, Tony has finally learned how to wrap his shows up with the media scrum and not stay there for 2 hours and answer every question with a fucking soliloquy. For God's sake, thank you. Somebody told him, like, "Hey, Tony, how about you shut the fuck up so these people can go home?" I digress. So,
but it's 2 in the morning and we want to talk wrestling.
I love wrestling. I love you all. So, with that being said, kisses and hugs. With that being said, we have our predictions coming up towards the end of the month for the Night of Champions, featuring the finals of the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring, John Cena versus CM Punk, and probably Gunther versus Bill Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg.
Final match.
I'm going to fall asleep in that match. Seriously, no, I'm not. I like Gunther.
Just Gunther. Just get it over.
It might only be 4 minutes, so hopefully you don't.
I hate him.
It might just be 30 seconds because Gunther might just lay him straight out.
Bill
Goldberg. So that will be predicting. And then July, it gets even better. Because why? We got triple the predictions. Yes! Triple the predictions. As we'll be predicting the NXT Great American Bash. Tony, the All In from AEW featuring Hangman versus Mox.
Y'all in.
Yep. Tony Storm versus Mercedes Moné. And it looks like we're getting... Yes, looks like we're getting Swerve and Ospreay against the Bucks, and of course, Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada for the Unified Championship. The belt is great, but the Unified Championship. Why? Who? Rob, you want to explain that? Why the Unified Championship? And like out of all the days, see, he can't even say it.
When the TSK, we were talking about this, and like we were at a loss for words, and that's probably the second time in TSK history that's ever happened where we were just like, okay, this belt looks cool. DC is not a fan of the belt. DC is not a fan of most belts.
Well, then
he is a belt guy, and he's also Dan. So, but
hey, Dan.
Hey Dan. But we all came to the conclusion, okay, the belt looks cool. Like it's got the name of the title is the Unified title.
Oh God. So yeah, that is happening.
I mean, I wonder if the word intercontinental is trademarked or something, because you literally have the international title, the continental title,
Intercontinental.
intercontinental title. It's right fucking there.
Like voguing up
This
in
is
here.
a rare occasion. When do you hear Rob have a rant? Rare.
It don't happen much.
Well. What if
Oh,
we
I
get?
know.
Well, what if we
You
get?
let me do it.
What if we get Cope back and it's Cope and Daniel Garcia against FTR?
You know what? We haven't seen Cope in a while.
Cope.
And we've been mentioning him quite a bit, and he's gonna pop up.
And then we got Bag of Dicks Garcia. Well, we'll save that when we get to those predictions. But yeah. So, and then we also will be predicting Evolution within the same week, as Evolution 2 is coming back. And as of what we saw with Raw, it looks like we're going to get Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez against the Bella Twins for the women's tag team titles. For one time, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it for the one time. But for the love of God, do not have the Bella Twins win the women's tag team titles. Stephanie Beckway. Nikki
Blake Monroe.
Okay.
I know we haven't mentioned them on the show today, but hey, Wyatt Six, just because I can.
No, you're fine. The Wyatt Six are coming back. We mentioned it the last time with Teddy. Go back and listen to our show with Teddy. But yes, we'll mention it briefly again. Blake Monroe. The vignette was cool. I liked it. Was a mix between Sabrina Carpenter, like the whole type of vibes that we got with her. Yeah. It was cool. I'm for it.
I'm with it.
That was great.
I can do that.
People are losing their shit about the name.
Oh, well then.
Typical.
So Marilyn Monroe, and then we find out Blake is because that's Mariah May's niece. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they changed their name, didn't they? I remember. I saw this the other day and went, "Who?" And then someone went, "You know it." And I looked at her face and went, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. So Nicola, she named Blake from her niece and Monroe from Marilyn Monroe. I'm cool with it.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
It's fine.
I like her more now. I don't know why. Maybe because she's not in A. I don't know.
Well, we will see what the future holds, because there's a lot of wrestling coming up. And also, I figured we promote this last because she mentioned the Wyatt Six. So we're going to get a Wyatt Six type of vibe here. We did mention last time we're looking forward to seeing them go for the tag titles. We're happy to see them back. But within reference of what we're going to be watching on our next watch along of these, we're going to some we're going to some bad times. Dare I say some ugly times. Probably one of the worst segments ever to end Monday Night Raw. And it's 30 plus years of being on cable television.
That's not like Hard Times, is it, Daddy?
That's like a Hard Times, baby. It's some bad times.
It's some bad times.
Some bad times. This was during the COVID era. In 2021, they closed Raw with a segment, and you can thank Nicola for this because she mentioned it. We are going to be taking a look at the infamous segment, Alexa's Playground, with Shayna Baszler. And we're going to talk about...
wrong t-shirt. Shit.
Yes. And we'll wear it the next time when we do that show. So we're gonna talk about the fuckery of a badass MMA woman being afraid of a doll, and the absolute horrid booking that was this feud. And then she would go on to leave Marie.
I can't really discriminate. Yeah, I can't discriminate against those exactly. But that was shit.
It was bad. We're going to get into the good and the ugly of that segment. Mostly the ugly, because it was bad.
I love the Alexa's Playground, though.
I
actually thought, well, barring when she ate
that
Lily,
one.
But that one, not so much.
No, when she ate Lily, that was just the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, why? Like, Charlotte Flair had ripped the dough, and the next thing you know, she's sitting there crying, eating it. And I was like, what is that going to do?
She's crying. Nicolas never going to get over this because of the fact that the friggin' stuffing was out of it, and she's like,
see, my Lilith is porcelain, so
you can't eat porcelain.
You can't eat porcelain.
I would not try and eat her even if you paid me to. No, that woman, that turns and looks at me too much. So no.
We eat people.
She has Chucky vibes. She has Chucky vibes, don't I? Yeah, we eat people. Why? I love you, Alexa, but why did Vince make you do that?
So we have a lot coming, as well as our origin show, which will bring us happy times. The origins of Su Yung, from Su Yung to Susie to Susan. We're gonna have another fun one with that one. And
As
yes,
long as we don't bring Medicine Maid back into it, because last time I said some real corny shit, and I
we're
watched that
gonna
and I
bring
was
it up. We're
laughing.
gonna bring it up. Yep, we're gonna bring it up. We're gonna bring up Madison Rain. We're gonna bring up Deanna.
Oh crap!
We're gonna bring up Rosemary, the Undead Realm, James Mitchell, the whole nine. Allie, yes, we're going there.
We love Ali. We're still a bit iffy about James Mitchell, though.
And Havoc, of course. How can we not forget about Havoc? Yes,
We love Havoc.
Oh,
And our Crazy Steve. We like Crazy Steve too.
Yeah, we like Crazy Steve.
we love Crazy
We
Steve.
love him. Yeah, we like him.
Oh, we got a lot to come. I love you two so much. And before we close,
Love you too.
Hey, so Roberto, where can we follow us on the socials, your socials, and then now a new YouTube channel from the TSK? Go.
Oh, good Lord. We hope you enjoyed what you watched today, because we definitely enjoy making these programs. If you want to follow us on the social medias, linktree/BlackheartsEBD3. There's a link to our Instagram or Facebook, not our Twitter. Fuck you, Elon. We've got a Blue Sky, Mike's YouTube. That's where you can find all of our episodes. So go follow us there. But don't follow too close, because Nicola bites sometimes.
Always.
So got this other show that Mike does appear on occasionally. Kicking it with the TSK. We just recently launched our own YouTube page. We'll keep that down in the description as well. But we do have a link tree as well. Linktree/TSKMF in all day. So follow us there. You've got our Instagram, our Facebook. We don't have a Blue Sky yet. We don't have a Twitter. Fuck you, Elon. Yeah. Shout out to the boys. So go follow us there. We will be doing a review show not very soon, because the next review show will be y'all in. So be on the lookout for that. My social media, linktree/ hey, I'm Rob. Got a lot of music in the pipeline here. We've been doing some guitar covers. Just recently put one out yesterday. If you're a fan of the band Ghost, spooky. I did a cover of Spillways off of their 2022 album. So go check it out.
Nicola, I will say this before we do the socials. Y'all, LFC is actually coming to the UK. Our UK show is sold out on July 4th. And then July 6th, we're going to Cardiff, Wales. But I have to say this, because with every one of these shows that we're doing with the UK, I have been promoting Nicola on here, just because when I talk about my friend Nicola in these shows, because I got people in the UK, including this one, I do say steer away from Weatherspoons and eat a proper English breakfast. Nicola promotes the show.
Yes. Love it.
Yeah.
Well, you get some love on the LFC front, man. We go into the UK, two things: Weatherspoons, proper English breakfast. Let's go, Nicola. Socials.
Yes, sir. If you want to follow me, we don't do Twitter anymore. Fuck you, Elon. But it's Nicola Mac 853, the Demoness. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Demoness there. I don't know my main one still, but it'll be in the links down below, because Mike always puts it in. I've got to learn it because I keep forgetting. Don't come and follow me, because as Rob pointed out, I bite, but I also make sure everybody dies. The black hearts rise. And yeah, don't be too brave.
Links will be in the description. But Nicola, of course, we got to give you love with the Weatherspoon. I'm sorry, it's never not going to get old, because when I'm thinking my UK people, I said, hey, man, no Weatherspoons, no proper English breakfast. Don't be a Mercedes, because then that'll just lead to bad things. It does.
I just want to throw sausages at her head.
That's why as well, because we get reactions like that. So sausage at the head, sausage head, pecker head. Anyway, I digress. So if you want to follow this channel, you can check out S&M Network shows, where you get to see these two faces, myself, Daniel, and Paul Morales on the weekly review.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Dan. And we get with Mike show, and we get to see the Pop Culture History Podcast, the LFC podcast, and so much more. And on the mic with Mike on this fine channel, over 1,270 plus. We appreciate the support. Let's keep growing, baby. Let's do it up. We got shorts. We got a whole lot more. Thank you. And Rob was also just on Uncaged with Dan and I, where we talked about Sabu, the suicidal, homicidal, genocidal, death-defying Sabu.
Was that the one you asked me to do, and I was in the land of hell?
Yes.
Well, let's be honest with ourselves here, and we're going to tell some to the people because we cannot tell no lies. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Daniel Crimmins quoting CM Punk. So when it comes to Nicola on that side of the coin, she big leagued us, man. She said, "You know what? I'm not going to do this Sabu episode." She big leagued us, man. She kind of big leagued us.
No. Oh, I remember.
Your episode.
You fucker.
No. I remember one. I was in a very dark place at the time.
No, you're
and I didn't want to let them all down by being a miserable old bitch. But I'm back to.
First of all, I just wanted to say the word big league, number one. But number two, I don't want to be a miserable old bitch. You gotta love it.
I didn't. I was in a dark place, and I just did not want to come on the show and put everything down because I was a miserable person. So, suck my dick.
Yeet. So with that being said, we appreciate y'all who love listening to people talk about wrestling as much as we love talking about wrestling. So that being said, we'll be back for more origins. We'll be back for more predictions. We'll be back for more watch-alongs, and we'll have more of our fun guests like Teddy P and Dan and Paul and everybody, even Amir. Amir, get your ass on over here. We got you here. Let me tell you. Hi, Doc.
Hey, Doc. Hey, you get your fucking ass on this show.
Come on this show, brother. So for Nicola McDonald, for Robert Davis, my name is Mike Larkin. And, well, we only got two things left to say. Suck my dick. Yeet. To the yacht.